You know that person, right? That person that wins at every single thing. They start going to school, they don't even have to study for anything, and they take like good grades at anything. They go to, I don't know, to the gym, and they start making progress instantly. They start a business, and you're there that you've been doing this business for like 2 years and you're not making any progress. This guy comes, starts his business, and after like 3 months, he already makes like $5,000 every month. And you're like, what the fuck is going on right now? How much, be honest, how much do you hate this guy? Because this guy exists. You probably already know someone like this that always wins at everything. But how the fuck is this possible? And why are you not doing the same thing? Why are you not this guy? And most importantly, how can you become this guy? How can you become this guy from today? Because there is actually a way to become this guy. But firstly, we have to clear out some misconceptions. Because most people think that this guy is such an awesome person because he's just born this way. He's just very talented. Let's firstly cover the talent BS. It's a BS because talent merely exists. Okay, yes, do have some. You could have some genetics that make you more talented. Okay, so that when you start, you already are at a very high level at some particular thing. But at the same time, most of the times, we tend to overestimate the potential of talent. Because, yeah, it's true that some people have talent and so they're already better than you when they start out. Whilst maybe they already start at level 3, but you have to start at level number 1. And so you're like, this is unfair. All right. But they might also always stay at level 3 whilst you go up, 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 and you start to become better than them. But for some reason, they don't only start at level 3, they also improve a lot faster. But this is not because of talent. This is because of a lot of other things. And a lot of people will say the usual phrase, hard work beats talent. This is the other BS, the second one, the hard work BS. Because you have the talent BS, but you also have the hard work BS. Yes, it's true that most of the times hard work beats talent, but hard work in itself is not enough. Because think about, for example, your parents, how much hard work they put in making money when they go to a job, for example, or how much work they put in raising their children. But they don't necessarily obtain the outcome that they want. They might, for example, work very, very hard at their job for like 8 hours every single fucking day, and they make $2,000 a month. And then you have this millionaire motherfucker who just sends a message and he already made like $10,000 in the first 30 minutes. And you're like, what the hell? And so no, it's not only hard work. You might have someone that is very, very hardworking when he starts, for example, doing kickboxing at a martial art group. He starts doing kickboxing and he's already kind of good at it. Okay? But you're also kind of good at it because you've been working hard on this for like years. And so you continue to work hard at this and become better and better and better and better. But this guy still makes a lot more progress than you. You think, oh, but I work there at the martial art club, then I go back home and I work again, then I work on my cardio, then I go to the gym, I do everything right with the diet and everything. But still this guy seems to get better than you. What this guy does, he just goes to the lessons. And yes, of course, during the lessons, he feels very engaged with the activity. but then he's not doing anything extra at home. He's not like that much obsessed as you are, but he's still making progress faster. So how is this possible? Well, that means that working hard, it's not enough. It's not everything. Well, you might say, oh, it's just because he's talented. But no, still, it's not because of that. It's not necessarily because of that. Now, let me tell you something. For example, when you talk, okay, how much time have you been talking in your life? You've probably been talking for a long, long time. But then why you still talk like like this, I talk like how do you still talk like this if you've been talking since you were 3 years old? Like you've been talking for, I don't know, 20 years, 15 years, and you still don't have like this. You should be perfect now at talking, right? Because tell me another thing that you spent 10 to 20 years doing. And I'm sure that you got a lot better with it as time passed by. But still, when you talk, you haven't progressed that much. Because if you then go to someone that has been practicing, I don't know, theater, or he's been practicing, I don't know, speaking at an audience, he's gonna be a lot better at talking. His body language is gonna be way, way better. His way of talking will be a lot like your attention to this when you are listening to this guy will be a lot higher. But how does he do that? It's not because of hard work, because you've been also talking for 10 to 20 years. What is different is that it's just that he's been following some lessons on how to become better, okay, at talking, and you haven't. That's the difference. But that in terms of hard work, in terms of doing the actual work of talking, you and the other guy didn't do much difference. You might be like a 40 years old and this guy is a 20 years old and he talks better than you, but he's been talking for way less time. The reason is not talent. Remember, talent is just where you start from. The reason why he is growing faster, it's because of what I'm about to tell you right now. It's because of self-feedback. Okay, and feedback in general, but especially self-feedback. For example, when you go when you are starting to learn something, but you also have a coach that is teaching you how to do it, you get better at it. Not necessarily if he's just teaching to you. If he's just teaching to you, you might get better, yes, because you learn, but you're only learning the theory. At the practice, if you want to get better at the practice, the coach is going to be there. He's going to tell you like, oh, you're doing this wrong. You could do this a lot better. Here's what you should be doing. Okay, so he gives you feedback. You make an error, and he says, to stop making this error, you have to start doing this. For example, when I go kickboxing, my coach always, after every single week, tells we are a group of like 20 people, and after every single session, not every single session, but every single week, okay, he says, oh guys, I've seen how you have been training here in the last week, and you have been making like this specific error. So we have to start working on this. And so we start to like do some exercises to improve that specific thing that he saw that we lack of. Okay? We have this problem and he solves it with feedback. And then we work on that feedback to become better. But a lot of the times you don't have a coach. So you need to do some self-feedback. And even when you do have a coach, still, if you do some self-feedback, it's only gonna be at your benefit. If like you are trying a new move at kickboxing, or you're trying a new exercise at the gym, and you see that for some reason, like, this exercise at the gym hasn't hit the same way, like it feels almost too hard for that specific exercise. You don't understand. Maybe you're like, maybe my form is not that better, so that good, sorry. So you go on YouTube and you search for the best form, and so you do now the best form. So bang, now you're gonna make so much more progress than your peers, because now you know how to do that specific movement, right? So what is the way to become this person that wins at everything? It's by having feedback, both by a coach, if you can afford it and if you have it, and by yourself. Firstly, how can you do it with a coach? For example, if you are part of a martial art group, you can ask your coach, oh coach, I've been trying doing these kicks right here, and the kicks don't feel very good. I don't know, I want to get better at them, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And he's gonna tell you, oh, maybe you're doing wrong this thing, blah, 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 blah. You can go to your school teacher and saying, listen teacher, I've been doing this, like this, on this subject. I've been only taking back grades since elementary school. So what the fuck can I do to become better? And so the professor is gonna be, well, in every single test that you do, you always make the same errors. These are the errors that you make, and this is how you can improve. And so you're gonna eventually improve very fast. And if you are with, we could go and say a lot of examples. You could do the same thing with a gym guy, like you are trying an exercise, you don't feel like your form is very good. You see that there is like an expert in the gym near you. You feel like he's an expert because like he's very, very big. So you go to him and you're like, oh, listen, I've been trying doing this exercise, but I don't know, it doesn't feel real right. Could you please... Fuck. Sorry. So, could you please watch me whilst I'm doing this exercise so that I can see if my form is good? But then, what if you don't have a coach? And even if you have a coach, we already said, okay, we gotta do self-feedback. So how do you do self-feedback in the right way? With some examples in real life that you can apply from now so that you can become this kind of person. For example, you could try, whenever you are doing something, okay, you have a training period and then you have an execution period. So for example, with school, you have a training period where you're studying, and then the execution period is when you're doing the test or when you're doing the exercises to train. And the same way, for example, when you're at kickboxing, you have a preparation phase where you're just trying the movement with like shadow boxing and stuff like that, with trying to hit the sack the best way. And then you have the execution part, which is the part where you are actually fighting with another person. So whenever you are in the execution part, you have to keep attention at what is happening. And then when the execution part is finished and you get back to the practice part, now you have to be like, okay, on the execution part, on this last fight I did, on this last test I took at school, on this last gym session I did, what was the thing that made me not get like my dream outcome? Because like you probably have a dream outcome in your mind, like the fight where you are only punching him in the face and he's never touching you back. That's like the dream outcome of a fight. The dream outcome of a gym session is a gym session where you always get to have like 100% energy and you're like completely satisfied with the session. What has been going wrong that didn't make you get to this specific dream outcome of that session, okay, of that fight, of that school test. And then once you realize what that is, you have to work on that. Or if you already got to the dream session, okay, you already did that, you still shouldn't be satisfied with that. You should be feeling like sorry. And you should be feeling like, bro, what can I do to improve and become even better? What can I do? What can you do? Well, you have to do some self-feedback and then improve on that. So for example, I'm doing a fight and I start to see that even though I'm hitting him, it doesn't seem like he's taking that much damage. It doesn't seem like I'm hurting him as much. So next time I'm in the practice phase, I'm gonna work more on power so that I can throw faster and stronger punches. And then I'm gonna work more next time that I'm gonna get in the execution phase. I'm gonna work more on hitting those parts that hurt the most. You know, those parts like the stomach or like this part of the leg that really hurt. And so you want to make sure that next time you're gonna hit him in those specific places. You do something wrong at the exam, okay, or at the test that you take at school. You read the paper with the correction of like every single when you do a test, then the teacher is gonna give you the test back with every single correction, so you can see what you did wrong. And so next time, and so you take a pen and a piece of paper and you write down, I did wrong this, then this, then this, then this, and next time you're gonna try and not do the same error. And during the practice phase and not the execution phase, okay, during the practice phase, you are going to train to make sure you don't make this error again. So that was all for today. If you want to join the best networking group ever created in the world, you can just go to my description. I have a Discord group. No, by the way, jokes aside, I think this is a great network community because I've been searching on every single like other self-improvement server. I took the most active and the most like successful people from those servers and I put them all together into one server so that I could create the strongest networking community possible on Discord. We have teachers that are going to teach you stuff for completely free. So please go down in the description, click the link, and join our Discord group. Bye.